Bears. Bears Country Podcast. Welcome to Bears Country Podcast, the waiver wire edition. I'm here with Nomad. We only have a short bit of time. I got my best friend of all time that finally come on and talk some fucking Bears with us, and I'm excited to have him on. Let's bring him on. His name is Steve. Steve, what's up, buddy?
How's it going, fellas?
Awesome. Nomad, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Just walked back in the house. Before I left, Ryan Poles decided to unleash all hell on the Bears roster, and I had, man, trust me, man, I'm hectic right now, but I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited. It was actually, I was trying to mow my lawn too, and Steve called me, and I'm like, dude, you got to get on, please come on and just say what you had to say. He's got great rants. He's intelligent as hell about football. He's my go-to for a lot of my knowledge, to be completely honest. So, Steve, what do you think about what happened today?
I love just about everything that went on today. When you can get a guy like, what's his name out of Minnesota there? I'm nervous because I've never been on here before.
It's okay, bro. Armon Watts.
Yeah, when you get a guy like that off of waivers, that's already a good day.
Yeah, he was manhandling the Bears last year, wasn't he?
And then I don't know if I've ever seen a rookie start 17 games and get waived. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Alex Leatherwood.
I think it's the he might have been in the 3-4 front, and that's where they're moving to a 3-4 front, and he probably just didn't fit for them. And so this roster and this front probably look like candy to him. You know, they just claimed him. I'm pretty sure where he's happy where he landed.
You're talking about Armon Watts.
Yeah.
Right.
Anytime you got an interior lineman that gives you 5 sacks and a backup role,
yeah,
that's good production.
Yep.
That's very good.
And they'll definitely have a bigger role on this team because they cut Tonga, right, to put him in his place.
Yeah, they sure did, yeah.
But it sounds like he might be going to the practice squad.
You know what? He wasn't announced to it, and they signed 2 other defensive tackles to that practice squad, so I would probably say no.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I agree with that. Putting him right on the 53.
Micah
Treadway and then Coaly, which however it's pronounced, they signed them both back to the practice squad.
Yeah, Travon Coaly.
Yeah.
And they signed Jonathan Kingsley out of Buffalo. That's the other defensive.
I think he's an end.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I'm not sure. I never really heard of that guy. And then Treadway, he's got a little upside to him.
Yeah, I guess we should announce just quickly who they signed. They signed Alex Leatherwood, the 17th pick in last year's draft. So basically, we got 2 picks out of the first round last year, along with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And then Armon Watts from Minnesota, and then cornerback Josh Blackwell from Philadelphia, defensive end Jonathan Kingsley from Buffalo, linebacker Sterling Weatherford from Indy, and tight end Travon Wisco from the Giants. So, what do you think about the other? First, let's talk about the last 4 guys I just mentioned, Steve. What do you think of those guys?
I got to say, other than Kingsley, I don't know much about those guys.
Yeah. How about you, Nomad?
Well, I'm trying to remember what are the names again?
Cornerback Josh Blackwell, defensive end Jonathan Kingsley from Buffalo, linebacker Sterling Weatherford from Indiana, and then tight end Travon Wisco, New York Giants.
Okay. There's a couple of them. I looked at a little bit of tape on all of them, but I'll tell you, the intriguing one is Sterling Weatherford. I think he played safety in college, but he's one of those tweeners. He kind of puts you in the mind of what Brian Urlacher was before he came into the league. One of those guys that they tried to make the transition with him at Indy, but I don't know, somebody must have beat him out. But that doesn't mean the guy doesn't have the capability to make the transition. He's an interesting guy, man. Josh Blackwell, I just got done looking at a little bit of him. I can see why Eberflus would want that guy. He's really disruptive when the ball is in the air. Pretty aggressive tackler. You know, he's a I don't know that he's going to make the 53, but I bet he will. You know, now that what's his name is gone, Shelley's gone. So it looks good, man. I like these guys.
The only thing that concerned me about Blackwell is he played 4 years of college ball with no interceptions.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nomad.
No, you go ahead.
I was just asking where he went. Where did he go to college?
Duke.
Do you remember, Steve?
I think it was Duke.
Okay, yeah. And Sterling Weatherford, 6'4", 230 pounds. Holy shit!
Brian Urlacher all over again.
It's good hybrid size right there.
Yeah, for sure. That has some potential.
And at worst, you got yourself a big special teams guy.
Mm-hmm.
I always love a safety that can transition to linebacker because he's got the best of both worlds in his mind and how he reacts to the ball and plays his position. It's an upgrade whenever you can get a guy like that to transition to linebacker. It's a big, big fucking upgrade if you can get him to stick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know he's going to be super athletic. You can play safety and linebacker. That's an athlete there.
No shit. Yeah. Travon Wisco is a 6'3", 267-pound tight end. That's interesting.
Is Weatherford coming into the league? Is this his second, third year in the league?
I think
he might have been a rookie, man.
Because I was wondering if Eberflus has laid his eyes on him at all.
Yeah, what the site that I just went to when I was looking actually brought me to an NFL draft buzz. So let's just type in his name, and it's a good question. Should have had that information ready.
You know, those guys that come from the old defense coordinator's team, they got a little affection for them somewhere for something they do.
He's an undrafted free agent.
The Colts this season? Okay.
Yeah, undrafted free agent, Weatherford from the Colts. The tight end, 6'3", 267 pounds. That's a big guy.
Sounds like a blocker.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
Another backup fullback, maybe.
Yep.
You back kind of guy.
Yep.
He's a fluid mover too, man. He's not a slot, man.
Isn't that your guy, Dieter? Both you guys like him, Dieter Ellison?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They signed him on the practice squad.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good news. Yeah, they signed Micah Treadway to the practice squad, Isaiah Coulter, Dieter Iselin.
Chase Allen.
Oh, good.
Thomas Grab Jr., Sam Kamara.
Nice.
Devontae Harris, which I like him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Devontae Harris. Yeah, I liked him a little bit too. Sam Kamara, I was hoping he would make the practice squad.
Darrington Evans as well.
Yeah, he's got some wheels.
Yeah, he does. I can't imagine him staying on the practice squad very long. Something goes on with it.
Yeah, league starts, people get hurt. He's going to come right off that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that happen to the Bears last year with somebody? They signed him away from Seattle or something, and right away they took him.
Was it the draft pick, the running
back?
Halfback.
It was a halfback. I forget where he was from.
It was like
somebody took him from us.
White or something like that. It was the Steelers took him from us.
Yeah, the Steelers took him. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and then we never heard anything of him after that.
No.
But that dude had he had lightning speed.
Yeah, he had wheels.
Yeah.
He was running around there like Nomad.
So let's talk about the exciting two guys of this 6 guys that they signed today. Alex, let's just finish up a little about Armon Watts. Like, he was disruptive as hell in the backfield or playing the Bears. He was in our face the entire time. So Steve and I were, talking about him last year. So this is a good pickup for the Bears. Like you were saying, Steve, just
perfect fit.
Yep. Limited opportunity.
Like Nomad said, if they're not changing systems, he's not out there.
Right. Anything else to add to Nomad? Add to that, Nomad?
I mean, he's definitely an upgrade to the roster. Hate to see a big guy go Tonga, man, but I think this guy is more explosive and disruptive at the same time than Tonga is. And that's kind of probably what they're thinking. This guy can probably get better penetration faster, and that's what this team is built on, speed.
Yeah.
The only thing that's surprising me in that situation is they kept Pennell and waived Tonga. I thought they might have kept the younger player there.
That's
man, I don't know. I don't know what it is with Tonga. I think it's like any other organization, man. They just want to get their own guys in there. It's not a guy that they picked, and so they weren't married to him from the beginning. But they gave him every opportunity that they can give him. So I mean, if they like somebody better, more power to them, man. I have no reason at all to question these guys.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, and Alex Leatherwood. Let's talk about him for a minute, man. I mean, wow.
I guess Steve would crack at that first.
If you go off just his tape and the way he played, it's not too exciting in that aspect. But if you go off his pedigree and 17 starts, young age, should have been a second or a third round pick, not a first round pick. I think you got to take a chance on a guy like that.
Yep.
So I'm all on board with that. As long as it wasn't like a trade or a 3-year deal or anything. It's just they're picking up and they get to keep, if I know the rules right, they get to keep his 5th-year option with the ability to pick that up. I don't know. Nomad would know more about that maybe.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the contractual stuff, but I come at this whole thing with Leatherwood a couple different ways to look at it. I look at it. Our first thing I noticed is that when McDaniels got there, little bit by little bit, Groom's guys are starting to be purged. I'm sure they probably tried to get what they could for Leatherwood in a trade value or something. But I don't think his tape was good enough to really get what they probably wanted for him. And also, McDaniels he's an asshole, man. And he proved that, man. I forgot where he was. But yeah, he's trying to bring the Patriot way west. And that's not, to me, it's not going to work. Bill Belichick gets away with it. He gets away with it. That doesn't mean it's going to work for McDaniel. And that guy just probably didn't fit into what they wanted to do. Doesn't mean he's a bad player. He just needs to be coached well.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to add to the McDaniels aspect of that as well, because he's the kind of guy that wants to. He's just going to do what the fuck he wants to do. Come in, trade Jay Cutler and whatever the fuck else he wants to do.
People don't want to play for is what he is.
Right. Yeah, but what they do pick up here is this $14.39 million salary.
No, they don't.
Nope. I'm sorry. Leatherwood is scheduled to make 14 points, guaranteed part of his.
Bears only have 5.9 of that.
Oh, nice.
That's why it's huge. Yeah, you would never give that guy $14 million after that season, but 5.9
to kick the tires for a little bit.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah, me too.
He was overdrafted. That's not his fault.
You know what I think? You know what I think that move is, and this is just me and my curiosity about things I've been watching. It's probably to challenge Larry Bourne, and so he doesn't get comfortable, and maybe take his fucking job if he gets in there and performs. Who knows? But I think it's Larry Bourne related.
Okay.
I was surprised to see that they only had 3 tackles after the cuts yesterday. I thought there would be 4 tackles. So when there was that third position open, I just kind of assumed it would be a tackle they were going to be looking for. And
I don't think he's going to play tackle. I think he's going to play guard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's got them under 33-inch arms, and barely anybody plays in this league at tackle with under that length of arms.
Yeah, he's
that is very
a starter in the league right now like that.
Yeah, 33 and 7/8.
That is very possible, Steve. I noticed that somebody put his some numbers up there early before I got on here. He does have relatively short arms for a tackle, but them being we're very guard heavy in my eyes and tackle light. But I'm sure they will give him a shot at both positions. But it wouldn't surprise me if he landed at a guard.
Do you guys know anything about the tackle that they picked up for the practice squad? I know they put Lachavius Simmons, but no, this is a pickup guy, Kellen Deesh.
Yeah,
No.
that's the one I didn't get a chance to check out yet. I don't know anything about
him. Other than he played in the Pac-12. I do know that much because I remember hearing the name.
Huh. I didn't even think to look for the practice squad.
He was a second-team All Pac-12 pick, and he started his career at Texas A&M. That's about what I got on him.
Heard he was the fastest O-lineman in the draft or something. That bodes well for that bodes well for zone run scheme. You got a guy that can get out there and move.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got a question for you, Nomad. As far as arm length in the offensive lineman in a zone scheme, is that less important or is it the same thing?
I don't see. I tell people all the time, O-line isn't my forte, man, but I don't see it as it doesn't really make me feel any kind of way about somebody's arm being a couple inches long or short. I don't know if that makes that big of a deal, but scouts pay attention to the shit, so who knows?
I'm more concerned about long. I like my pass rushers that have some length to them. The little extra reach, where you just miss swiping down at the ball, you just miss swiping that quarterback, man. That's why I like those extra couple inches.
The Robert Quinns of the world.
Yeah, who's that? The rookie from Arkansas years ago, I believe, Mark Anderson.
Yeah, Mark Anderson. In 2006, he had 12 sacks
as a rookie. Yeah,
that's something I could see out of Dominique Robinson this year. Spot roll.
I don't know if he's still Snowden. Snowden is the same type of build, long arm guy.
Yeah,
he's gone.
I thought the same. Yeah,
he is gone. Okay, and if they signed Kingsley Jonathan, they probably don't have much interest in bringing back Snowden then.
Probably not.
He's all speed. He's pretty good at speed to power, but he's not one of those traits guys like you talking about, Steve, the guy with the long arms. But he's goddamn explosive. I tell you that. He gets around that edge, and he can speed past you or he can power you, get you right back. And he's African born, so he's probably somewhat raw.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, when did he start playing football? 17, 18 years old?
Exactly.
I always like those guys like that, the underdeveloped guys. The one thing, they don't have bad traits because they don't have any bad coaching yet. Those are the guys you can get out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys want to do a rundown of the practice squad players so far?
Sure. I mean, I don't.
Hey, you know what's funny about that? We had the show yesterday, and I identified who I thought would make the practice squad. The only person I did not was Chase Allen. The rest of those guys I paid.
I missed you guys' show yesterday.
Yeah, we just did a quick one, kind of like this, a little bit longer. But I know you got to get out of here soon, Steve. So let's just do a quick rundown. So they did sign tight end Chase Allen, wide receiver Isaiah Coulter. We all kind of knew that would happen.
Absolutely.
Nathan Peterman. They do need a quarterback on the practice squad.
Yep.
Latavius Simmons, who had some pretty good moments in the preseason. Micah Treadway, same thing. We've talked a lot about Micah Treadway. We're Micah Treadway's lovers on this show. Demarcus Gates, huh? Yeah. Nomad.
I'm so happy for that guy, man. He earned it.
Yeah. Did you see much of Demarcus Gates in the preseason this year, Steve?
No, I didn't.
He's a 26-year-old rookie from the USFL. I guess he was a star over there, and he played really well when they put him in the game. He was stuffing the run. He was hitting hard. He was to the ball. We were both kind of upset.
Is he a middle? Sam? What is he?
He's a. Was he play? Yeah, he was middle, right? Nomad.
Yeah, either one. I think he played a little bit of both in the preseason.
They were trying him all over. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then wide receiver Nasimba Webster, Dieter Iselin. Thank God. I hope he doesn't get plucked. If they do, they might have to cut someone to keep that guy, because I think this is a Sam Musserfer year only because of the condition that Patrick is in. And I think they chose the brains over the brawn in this case because he has more experience in the league. But Dieter Iselin definitely showed some promise at center. Darrington Evans, that's another one we talked about. Like, somebody has an injury soon, he's out of here. Thomas Graham Jr., I was hoping that he would land there too, considering he didn't. He looked like he had an injury all of training camp, and we just never saw anything of him on the field.
Back to running back real quick. I'm surprised they didn't keep an extra one more running back.
So was
I. Surprised by that.
I was too. Were you, Nomad?
Yeah, a little bit. I knew one way or the other they try to stash him if they didn't put him on the 53. I knew they had a plan for him, but being on the practice squad, you can always get snatched up. So,
and it's hard to hide speed.
That's right.
Everybody's looking for it.
That's why. I mean, he played. He was on the team last year on the Titans. He played well. So now he's on a practice squad. That sucks,
Just couldn't look the injury bug, man. The he's a really good running back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a guy that's on a practice squad that surprises me is Marlon Mack.
Yeah, that got me too, man. That got me off guard, man. Like, whoa, how did he get fucking cut?
That doesn't make sense.
Wait, on Marlon Mack's on our practice squad?
No, I believe it's the Texans, but I'm not sure.
It is a Texans.
Wow.
Yeah, that's of all the cuts that are the practice squad guys I've seen today. That one shocked me the most.
Yeah, no shit. So Thomas Graham Jr. and then Sam Kamara, kind of thought he would land there. Travon Coaly, we were hoping he would. Nomad and I were fans of him. He didn't play last year. He came in and did an admirable job. He lived in the backfield. In fact, the image they have him on here on the website is of him in the backfield about to grab.
Be first guy up. If there's an injury on the defensive line, he could be the first guy up.
Mm-hmm. Another one who was promising is safety AJ Thomas, another guy that Nomad and I liked. Safety Devontae Harris.
You want to know what's interesting, man?
What's that?
These couple of cuts here. I also pegged these yesterday. I said if we got anybody of linebacker ilk, Caleb Johnson or Jack Sanborn would go, and it ended up being Caleb Johnson, and also Zachary Thomas. I pegged that. I just don't think he's NFL strong yet, and I don't think he has the power to withstand at the guard position someone like an Akeem Hicks. He just doesn't have the power yet. Not to say he's not going to get it somewhere down the line in a year or two, but right now it doesn't make sense to have him if he's not strong enough to actually play if you need him.
I just got a little bit scared when you said that name.
I missed. Oh, Hicks, yeah. Who are you just talking about?
Steve, if you look at Zachary Thomas's lower body, if you get a chance to look at his combine stuff and just look at his frame, his lower body, and just picture that guy lining up in front of somebody like Akeem Hicks. No fucking way in hell this guy can do anything with it.
Gonna wind up with a broken leg.
Let's see, Devontae Harris.
And go take my dog, but I can talk to you till I get to the vet.
Okay, well, we're actually just about to wrap this up anyway.
Okay.
That was the last player. Devontae Harris was the last one. So, yeah, that's your rundown of players that the Bears signed, cut.
Micah Duke Treadway is going to be there too, right? And he's signed back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I said yesterday, Steve. I told him when he asked me about him. I said, "There's no way. I didn't think that they were going to bring that guy back at least on the practice squad. This regime seems to be determined to the guys that they bring in to, they're not done working with that guy. So it made nothing but sense to me to have him come back and continue to work.
Right. That's a great point. And obviously, as we talked about last night, he kept every single one of his draft picks, Steve. He turned 5 picks into 11 and kept every single one of them.
Except Zach Thomas.
Except Zach. Wait, he got cut? Is that what you were just talking about? He got cut?
Yeah, they had to cut some people, man, to be able to fit these new guys they brought in.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised
there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back on my phone.
Yeah, we got you.
Sorry, buddy.
So he's not currently on the practice squad. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. So they have 2 spots left. Oh, and you mentioned they signed someone from another team. So
yeah, they're not done, man.
Now?
They're what? Say that again?
Aren't they down to 5 receivers?
You know what? Something else I just saw on Twitter before I got on to here is they didn't put N'Keal Harry on IR, which I found strange.
Well, at 3 o'clock, because at 3 o'clock, then they could be destined to come back. If they put them out before that, they're gone for the year. So you'll see them on there a little bit. Yeah. I think that's why
this roster is not. They're not done, man. I don't. If I'm in that building and I was slightly on the bubble, I'd be nervous right now because they're constantly looking to find guys that they think are upgrades. So I would not be surprised if 4 or 5 more guys get signed.
One thing's clear: they want explosive players. What position they want them?
Right.
You're right about that.
They're filling the mold of the team they're trying to make. And you're starting to see the players that you kind of know. You're starting to see who fits just by knowing who they are as players. You know, like we were talking about before. Hopefully, we get to the point where people will know. Oh, that guy's. Of course, the Bears drafted that guy. He looks like he's a Bear. You know, like we think about with the Steelers,
like the Ravens Steeler pick.
Right.
Steve hit a bullseye. They insist on finding explosive players at each position, and they ain't gonna stop until they're successful at it. So it's gonna be a revolving door for probably the next 2 weeks.
And it just gives you a little excitement to what's this roster look like a year from now, 16, 18 months from now.
Yeah.
They could find some gems. They seem to be pretty good at finding talent, right? So maybe they might get some gems out of this, you know?
That's the one thing.
Yeah.
While I was out, man, I was thinking the whole time, man, I'm like, if anything I've taken from this regime so far in this small sample size that we gotten from them is I have no fucking reason to question anything that they're doing so far. I am not. None of it raises my eyebrows other than, wow, these guys have a pretty good eye for evaluating talent. I mean, I'm very impressed with them. I know I probably sound like a homer, but no, man, these guys fine dudes, and they fit them, and they look good out there.
I agree with that. I like the fact that they're looking for explosive players.
Fast.
Yes. And explosive, but both. I just love it. It's what's needed, and get an offense in this century at least.
I mean, and look at just by adding, to the amount of players that you have to choose from, but by turning 5 picks into 11, and look at how many players that they got from that draft that are starting this year now. You know, Gordon's starting, Brisker's starting. Velus Jones, you could pretty much consider him a starting role. Braxton Jones has a starting role. Brian Robinson, I keep calling him Brian Robinson. I don't know why. Dominique Robinson has a role on this team. He's going to be playing a lot. So
he's going to get after the quarterback a little bit.
That's 5 players right there. And then
Did he drafted not make the team? I mean, other than Kramer, who's on injured reserve, so technically he's on the team.
Well, Zach Taylor just got cut, so.
Oh, Jack Thomas? Okay.
Oh, yeah, Zachary Thomas.
Guard out of San Diego?
Yeah. Zach Taylor. Yeah.
I bet all my money. There will be several storylines coming out on this team. There's going to be a lot of good stuff going on. But I guarantee you one of the main narratives is going to be these guys' eye for talent, man. I'm telling you, these guys are great talent evaluators. I can see it from a distance, man. That's going to be a narrative.
Yep. We're already starting to see it, and it's we said this last night on Dan and O, though. Like what the coaching staff is instilling into the players, they're instilling into the fans as well. You know, we're all buying into what they're doing now.
Oh, yeah. The next step is them being accountable to each other, and the coaching staff doesn't even have anything to do with it.
Exactly.
That'll be the next step.
Yep. And that's when we're. Yep. We'll all be talking big things when we get to that point, right?
I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring this year, but I'm really looking towards next year.
Yeah. I think everybody
give a really good talent evaluator a lot of money to spend.
I mean,
I'm keeping my eyes on the present. I ain't brushing this team off. I think they can put something together with their ability to be able to put talent together. I don't rule this team out for nothing. You already know how I feel. 11-6, goddamn it, I'm gonna stick to it.
Mm-hmm. What's your number? 7, Steve?
It's actually 6-11.
Okay. So you have
I want to be wrong. You know that. Just like I wanted to be wrong about Grossman too.
Right.
But there is upside though. There's definitely some upside.
I think it's you get a couple of bounces your way. You get the extra preseason game or extra game in the season. I mean, you get the extra playoff game. You get a new team with a new regime, and the Niners and the Packers in the beginning of the season. It gives you the best chance to beat those two teams at that time of the year. In this situation, things can domino effect and get on a roll from there, and you just never know what can happen. That's why I'm going to stick to it. And somebody put in the chat the other night that he said that I said if the Bears don't go 11-6, I'll do my podcast naked. And I don't remember saying that, so let's just get that for the record, Cliff.
Yeah, we don't want to see that anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna act like you didn't say that. We didn't know. That's it. You know what, man?
That's where we're gonna turn his camera off.
Right. I'll be happy to eat crow though.
Here's the thing. Here's one of those things I want people to pay really close attention to. Is these guys are all right around the same age, young first, second year guys, maybe third. You know, these guys are so young, they don't know they're supposed to be a bad team. They don't give a fuck about what nobody's saying on the outside of that building. They have confidence in each other. And like he said, if they learn to start playing for each other and in the manner that they've got these guys set to do it, I'm telling you, man, this team is going to be kinetic, man. They're going to be out there flying and hitting and making plays they don't know they're supposed to be bad. Mm-hmm. And so watch out for a team like that.
There's definitely some upside. I agree. There's definitely upside. I just I really don't like the first two games. I don't like Jones going against Bosa. I'm a little concerned about that matchup. I have to keep a tight end or something over there.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you right now. What do you want to bet, man? I'll send it to you. We can make a deal. They put a thumping on the 49ers game 1.
Uh-oh. He likes to bet lunch.
Yeah, I'm a good lunch better, but I don't ever lose bets, so you might want to be careful.
Oh, I don't lose very many myself.
I'll bet you. I can't bet against my team, though, but I don't want to bet against my Bears, but I do think the 49ers win that game.
Okay, consider it then. I'm not even saying a win. I'm talking about an ass kicking. They're going to get Trey Lance a problem.
I wish I could. Yeah, that's the only concern I would have with Trey Lance would not be his arm, would only be his feet.
We got a fast team. I'm not worried about his feet.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, we do.
That's a bet you should.
Liked it a little. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You finish.
No, I would have liked it a little bit more if that starting defense would have had a little bit more time together in that preseason, switching to a new defense.
Yeah.
I would have liked that a little bit better from the beginning.
They did that. Defense deals with Justin every day in practice, so they know what to expect there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
There's some athletes.
That's a bet you should take, though, Steve. He's not. You're saying that. So even if the Bears won by a point, Nomad, you would lose that bet, right? They'd have to whip their ass.
I want the Bears to win 42-0.
They're gonna get all in San Fran's ass, and it's gonna be a whole controversy about who the starting quarterback should be after week 1. You watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had him last year until that. Who was that? Debo, that little screen, little side pass to Debo. He took it 90 yards or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Justin almost beat him this year, almost. And,
Yeah, well,
and look at
his rookie year, yeah,
with Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
That's like giving the team an extra 6-7 points if Matt Nagy's your coach.
No shit.
So think about a competent offensive coordinator calling plays and a hella crazy ass defense out there in front of you. Come on, they're gonna get in San Fran's ass.
See, I think exactly what San Francisco has too. I think they have a real, if not one of the top 3 offensive play callers in the game.
Right.
The only chance they got is Lance. Lance is bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only chance. But I don't know. I want to see the Bears score against that Niner defense. I really like the Niners defense.
I've said it. Every time I think of the Niners game, for some reason, the image I have in my head, and every time I think of the game still, that's why I'm bringing it up right now, is the Bears have them backed up to their goal line, and they're on like the 1 yard line. The Niners are, and the Bears get a safety out of it. So I feel it's going to be that kind of a dominating game.
Dude, if the Bears get that safety, I'm never going to hear the end of it. You've been talking about that since you were like 12. I
know. I envisioned that when I was 12 happening in 2022. That's how long I've been fucking saying it.
It's gonna happen eventually.
Dude, Steve and I have known each other since we were 8 years old. That's a long fucking time, man.
Sure is.
It's great to have you on, man. Thank you for doing this finally.
I enjoyed myself. It was a little bit of rookie jitters, but I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, even I was.
Wasn't that bad,
you had me nervous, dude. I was so excited to have you on. I was nervous.
No man's like, I don't care about this guy.
Steve, when you get a chance to listen to it, then you'll see it's. I was like that my first time, and then I listened to it, and it wasn't bad as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. I hope you're right on that one.
The only thing, the only thing about it is the only rookie mistake that you made was just you have just not knowing the flow of talk, so that we're not talking over each other. Like, it's the only critique I could give you. Other than that, you did a great job. You're a little nervous at first, of course. You should. Everyone is, but you got warmed right up, and I can't wait to have you on again next time, buddy.
Well, appreciate you guys having me on, and I'll be on next time.
Awesome, man.
Gotcha, man.
Steve had
good talking with you guys, Nomad and Dan.
Yeah, all right, till next time, brother.
He did promise me the Green Bay week.
I'm there.
All right, man. Well, until next time, we'll talk to you later, Steve.
Bears.
Oh, wait. Yeah, go ahead. You want to finish it? 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Yes.
Nomad.